I've always really been open to the fact that you can't do everything and you can't be everywhere. Probably lost over 40% overnight. Personal level, it got really, really difficult.
Jason Mack, it's great to have you back. It's been so long since we caught up. Obviously, I still speak to you every day, and I think
You're too busy now, mate. You don't call me that much.
Well, that's not technically true, but yeah, thanks for the dig. Anyway, the last time we actually filmed you was pretty much a year ago at your training camp.
Yeah.
I know you've been a super, super busy bee. YouTube has still been in the background, collating some good subscribers and as well getting some really good views.
Yeah.
We talked about it the other day that we should carry on pushing it, which you are while you're sitting here now.
Yeah.
So let's have a catch up. Let's cast back to what's happened over the last 12 months.
Yeah, it's been really busy actually. Really nice to sit here again and sort of go through what's been happening. But obviously in the demanding world of being a football agent, it's just been sort of non-stop really, mainly focusing on the players and everything that I do day to day, so sort of not really had the time to be consistent on it. The one thing you did always say was be consistent, but I haven't been, unfortunately, so I apologise with that, but still got the chance to come back and have a great chat. But no, just been really, really busy pushing. The team's growing at the company. We've had a lot of transactions happen over the last 12 months, which has been really exciting for us, and obviously wanted to kick this back started just to sort of see where it goes, number one, and number two, just the insight, obviously, which we think is important to people, as well as letting them know how we operate and what we do. So, yeah, excited to see what happens next, mate. But yes, been very busy.
Okay, let's talk about that because it's quite interesting. Repercussions of videos that we've put out in the past.
Yeah.
How, after you've obviously seen it and it's been quiet now, how was all your videos received from your peers and clients as well? I'd be keen to know.
Generally really good. I'm quite honest to the fact that maybe some parts not so good, but I've reflected on that and thought, you know what, maybe that was some of the good things that come out of it. On reflection, I wasn't too fussed about being brutal, but generally I think the people around me have actually well received it, and I don't know why. How do I explain this? I stopped, but that was probably just through the day-to-day of being busy. The demanding side of my industry of talking to parents and being around every day, I think I just personally went missing just for the nature of how I live my life. I get up early in the morning and go to bed late at night, so didn't really have the time on it, to be honest, Rick. So, but it was really well received, and I think I should have carried it on. But in general, really, really good. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it might go from here.
That's awesome. That's great to hear, and I can't wait to showcase this. I think you're an amazing advocate for the world of football agents, and I think you give a fascinating insight into what you do. So I think it's great that you're here, sitting here today, and we can continue this. So moving forward onto a business point of view, tell us about your growth and tell us about new people that may have started.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what's going on.
Yeah, I think looking at it as a company, we've grown in terms of the players that we've signed, but I think that just naturally, now been doing it 16 years, I think we've hit a point where we're well respected, which obviously comes at a cost to make sure that we're doing the right thing, signing the right players, and also growing in the right departments. And you know, recently, because we've moved players geographically in different places, I think that that's meant that we've had to grow the team. I want to have a big focus on making sure that I can do the business for my players. So that means that the day-to-day running, we're going to need more people around. So we decided to add to the team, which has been really exciting, but then also give that push on north, south, east and west. That's something that I've always wanted to do, but I've always really been open to the fact that you can't do everything and you can't be everywhere. So for me, it's sort of getting that middle ground where we have enough people around that day to day we can help with our clients' needs, versus me being out there going and getting the deals done.
And okay, on that subject as well, in terms of transactions that you've undertook in the last 6 months especially, tell us about them, because you've been seriously busy with Lino, with Harry, with Sam. Tell us.
Yeah, I think you know, we've had a real focus on the youth market in particular. Our first team transactions, we're going to be really busy this summer, which you'll see in the coming months. But I think once again, and we'd had this conversation previously, but it's been more prominent in the current market, is since Brexit, the youth market's gone through the roof, and now we've got a real focus on giving a real help to families as well as players when they're making their decisions on whether that's staying at their football club, whether that's moving or whatever. And now we're seen as one of the market leaders in that. So hence why, you know, all agents work differently, don't they? Some of them focus on, you know, it could be foreign recruitment, English recruitment. You've got big enterprises out there who do a great job, but we've had I feel that we've now got a niche within the market, and me personally have seen it, so why not push that? And we've gained the trust not only of football clubs, but of families, and I really want to give that insight into why you should be with us for that particular reason of, I don't think there's many people in the market that are doing the deals that we're doing at the level that we're doing it at.
Fascinating, and you can see that with the players, especially being called up for international duty.
Yeah.
Some of the kids, you must be so proud of the kids.
Yeah, definitely, and that's been the time-consuming factor, really. I mean, obviously, it'd be nice if you could give an insight day to day, but you know how private my life is. It's not like you can hop on a plane with me and be around the players' families and what I do. You know, I've been in lots of different countries and supporting my players in lots of different countries over the last 12 months. We probably had over 10 players that have sort of represented their country in the last 12 months, which is a super proud moment. But obviously it's private information as well, that you can't be with them all the time, and you're just letting them flourish on a personal level, and in the background we're doing the job.
In terms of being obviously a licensed agent, the transition from a FIFA licensed agent rather than an FA licensed agent, what's been the difference? So
with the FIFA licence, obviously I've done my exam and I'm now FIFA licensed, but due to what happened with the regulation that didn't change, we're still under an FA licence as well. So currently I have seen some changes in terms of clubs wanting to see your representation contracts and understanding how serious it is in terms of the definition between the two, but we're still sort of going through a regulation change at the moment, mate. So I'm still sort of understanding how it's all going to work, but it's still very much up in the air at the moment.
Okay, now we're obviously in summer at the moment. Where do you see the money being spent this summer, and is Brexit still having an impact on the market?
Yes, massively. I feel there's going to be regulation change coming in the near future. How that's going to affect the market, I'm not sure. What I've seen is the market has been made very small, so hence why the UK market, the youth market, has absolutely exploded, which has been really exciting in terms of our business. When I look back and had to make my decisions, which you know on a personal level, it got really difficult for us when Brexit hit at the first point, and that was a real tough part of the business because we probably lost over 40% overnight, which then actually, hindsight looking here today, was the best thing that happened to us as a company, but at the time it was probably the worst thing. But what I see now is massive money being spent on UK talent, which I don't see changing any time, because the Premier League, the money's there still, and obviously the lower end clubs want that money to be spent on their players, obviously, and some are trying to keep them, which I still very much think that players should stay at the football club if they're happy, but obviously where the market's going, it's been crazy, so it's very hard to turn those situations down, which is where we come in and help our players do so. But then obviously you've got the first team side of things, which you know, I have noticed since let's say the COVID period, that the market is coming back to normality. Let's say Championship, I can see money being spent, which I haven't seen much of in the last few windows. Not big money, let's say, where it was, but compared to where other European markets are spending their money, I do think that the English market is still very much market leaders, and then the Premier League is just never ending, mate. I don't see that ending anytime soon. I think the big money will be spent in the summer, definitely.
Moving forward, obviously, like we said about earlier when I touched the last time we filmed you was at your training camp. We've obviously got that coming up very soon, next week in fact. Something you always put a lot of effort into. Yeah. Who have you got coming there this year, if you can?
This year we're going to have a real focus on the players this year. I think that we've got over 15 coming, which is really proud for us, because funny enough, we started at 7, we've now nearly doubled that, and some. We could potentially have 18 there throughout that weekend, and you know, it's I want to make sure they feel motivated for the season ahead. I want to make sure that they understand how hard it is, so we sort of focus on the mentality side of things, as you know, which you've seen from previous years and other people that have come. I'm going to keep that private of who's coming this year, because it's TBC, let's say, but just a really exciting couple of days, and you've been involved in them, so you've seen it grow over the years as well. So I think what you'll see is it's just ever growing. But in terms of what we're providing for the lads, I think they learn so much within a 2-day period that they're taking that into their season, and it's not just a football thing; it's a mentality thing.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to say, like, what a great job you do at that. It's funny because when I see the guys go in, no one really talks to each other, really, and then by the end of the 2-day training camp, they're all best mates, and it's amazing to see that. And I think you do such a great job.
Thank you, mate.
And I can't wait to film it again this year. So,
yeah.
Well done to you. Okay, so Jason, coming to the end of this little conversation now, what have the viewers and subscribers got to look forward to over the next few months?
Yeah, me looking at where the industry's going, like touching on us being what we consider as market leaders in certain markets that we work in, and I'd really like to touch on sort of how deals are done, why we think that we're good at what we do, why a player would want to be with us as opposed to other people. I think that, you know, we offer a service like no other in a world that is brutal, difficult, demanding, but lucrative for these young players. So I think that they need to lean on real good advice, and they need to know that we know what we're doing. So over the next few months, I just want to make sure that that's explained in as much depth as we possibly can within the realms of knowing that how private the industry is. But I think there's so many people out there that really have no idea what goes on behind what we do and the team, that what we're doing. And there's people like me that are doing a really fantastic job out there. As much as it's super competitive, I think that there's enough good people out there that people can be doing a good job, but I just see too often people getting bad advice as well as, or taking their own advice. And I just think that leaning on people like us, you know, is something that I'd like to explain a lot more in depth in time.
Well, and hopefully that's our job to showcase that, and I know we'll get the best out of you, because you work your absolute socks off, which is amazing to see. B, on a personal level, you're super trustworthy, and I think the world of you. And I think any young kid watching this, aspiring to go down an agent or looking out for the best agent, it's definitely with you, in my opinion. But that's me being biased. But yeah. Anyway,
thank you, mate.
Jace, thanks so much for your time. I always love sitting down and chatting with you, and let's see what the next couple of episodes bring.
Nice one.